Hey, what's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of We Need to Talk. This is episode 448. Shout out to all of my listeners, all of my supporters. Shout out to everybody who's been watching on the replay. Shout out to everybody who's been tuning in live as well. All of my Patreon members, my coaching clients, my friends, confidants, my aces, my day ones, anybody who is providing the right energy, reciprocating the energy. Much appreciated. Tonight is about being ghosted and how it is positive, how it is protective, and how it works in your favor. In most cases, being ghosted feels like a rejection. It feels negative. It feels like a jab or like a hit in the gut at times because you could believe that you're on the road to a great relationship. You could believe that a certain individual is right for you and is showing you certain qualities that you're attracted to. You could feel like you are closing the gap on that elusive soulmate. However, suddenly out of nowhere, communication stops. And in a lot of cases, there is no adequate explanation, if any. And you are left in a situation where you feel uprooted, you feel like the rug is been pulled out from under you, and you're not really sure how to make sense of it. There's a lot of shifting emotions, and part of you wants to be done with this whole dating thing to begin with. Part of you wants answers, part of you wants closure, part of you wants to investigate the motives behind acting this way, and part of you feels like everybody's going to do it. So what's the point? What's the use, right? Now, those interpretations, those responses, those emotions are automatic. Those are easy to come to. The emotions happen without effort. The thoughts happen without effort. Now, what I'm posing is to utilize some effort and challenge yourself to view this as a positive. My philosophy on dating is that dating is a filtration system. And when that filtration system is working correctly, you will find dirt, you will find sand, you will find particles, and you would discard them the same way a filter would. They will become trapped in the system and they will not progress further into the purified water that's on the other side. So when the filter is working, that means that people that you try to date will show their hand, they will show certain behaviors, they will exhibit deal breakers, they will do things to indicate to you who they are, what their intentions are, what they're capable of, what their patterns are, and you will have your chance to decide whether or not this person is for you. And if they're not, you just got that information. And information is power. Knowledge is power. And the sooner you get it, the faster you can act on it. And I would argue that being ghosted is a clear indication that somebody is not capable or equipped to utilize mature communication. And if mature communication is a non negotiable, is a deal breaker, you've just received the equivalent of seeing what cards are in that person's hand. That person has essentially flipped their cards over to notify you that this person is not that person that you may have thought they were, and they do not communicate the way that you do. And there you have it. So there is no negative complications with this other than a hit to the ego. But at the same time, you have the luxury and you have the gift of not having your time wasted any further. The circumstances that occurred that made this person ghost you in the first place, it's time to be grateful that it happened in a timely fashion, as opposed to way down the line when you've invested days, months, years, money, effort, time, energy, emotion into the situation, and then to realize that that person wasn't capable, or when certain situations arise, that person falters or folds under pressure and does not have the capability to fight through and communicate when they may feel like they don't want to, or they're afraid to. Sometimes it's the fear of vulnerability, because we have to be honest about the fact that there's a lot of different reasons people ghost. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes there's a legitimate situation, and their pattern is to not tell people about it, to just deal with it and then come out of a cave later. Sometimes you get ghosted because somebody found something better, something easier, something that maybe they've been waiting on. Maybe an ex changed their mind and gave them another chance, so then they just disappeared on you. They felt that they didn't have any use for you anymore. Uh, but who cares? I think part of the initial response is to want to know, like, what happened, what was the problem, what was going on. But who cares what happened? Who cares what happened? Because at the end of the day, you don't need an extra thing to focus on other than being thankful and showing gratitude that this happened as soon as it did. Sometimes, in a lot of cases, you're being saved. The ghost thing is you're saving grace, because the last thing you want is to be lured in and baited for years of time, only to find out way late in the game that somebody isn't who they say they are. I'd rather you make a major move early so it can be accounted for and responded to, and I can get on with my life and bask in the fact that I've received the information that I needed in a timely fashion. So it is protective in a lot of ways, and a lot of times ghosting comes with other things. I'm not, saying that one offense or certain things in all cases can't be worked through, and it's always your choice if you want to entertain it and try to move forward with somebody. That's always your choice at the end of the day. But if you do encounter that type of behavior, in most cases it's tied to other behaviors as well. There's a lot of other things going on, and it's just a symptom of some other things that are deeper. If we're talking about not having accountability, not being able to communicate, um, even if it's something short, like, hey, emergency came up, I have some family stuff to deal with. I'll reach out as soon as it's over with, or something like that. If it's something real, sort of preemptive. To at least let that person know why the communication frequency is changed. That's always a plus. But if you have somebody who's not considerate enough to do that, it may be speaking to a deeper symptom. It may be something like, to the to the effect of them not viewing you as valuable to them enough to be considerate to. Somebody has to consider you valuable to think ahead, to want to be proactive with you, want to communicate with you, not want you to feel like you've been ghosted and left behind and not have any answers as to why communication stopped. Somebody would have to think about you in a certain way for them to be that damn considerate. And so if they don't think of you in that way, there is no future. You can fight for it. You can hang on. You can forgive. You can forget. But you will end up in the same spot. And you will be fighting an uphill battle because you'll be trying to make an inconsiderate person considerate of you. And why would we choose impossible tasks? That would only increase disappointment in the long run. We have to be very wary of that. So this is for my people who have been ghosted. James St. Patrick up, hurt, rejected. It's great though. Info at any expense is always a positive. Knowledge is power, information is power, man. And no pun intended. But it is power, to a high degree. And you have to make use of information, knowledge, and power when it comes to you. And you have to be definitely, grateful of the process because again, dating is a filter. So it's supposed to be a fun filter. You're supposed to leave people behind. And a lot of times we get caught up in the count. This person wasn't right. This person wasn't right. All right. Well, you are shuffling through. You are maneuvering through, and that's a good thing. Being identified as not the one is a good thing. It's much better than being confused. It's much better than being back and forth. It's much better than being with an actor or actress who is playing the part only with ulterior motives and hiding their true self. So keep this stuff in mind. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Big things on the way. Be sure to click the link. The link's in my bio. See whatever you want to do. If you like to donate, if you like to check out the online store, if you would also like to get virtual coaching, one-on-one, I offer that as well. So check the Patreon website. And we can set it up. We can get Zoom, FaceTime, etc., and really start to break through some of those internal barriers, work through some of those things that have been holding you back, some of those toxic dating cycles, perspectives, past romantic traumas, etc., and get you guys on the right track. So thanks so much for listening. Make sure you guys subscribe and share, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow night.